Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're going to do the next part of our moving and editing tutorial, video, whatever. Let's do it. If you want to move an item, we already talked about how to pull an item out of your inventory and res it onto the ground. So let's get to how to get it up in the air if that's where you want it to be. Now, you could always take the item and pull it up and down. If you fly up into the air and leave yourself in edit mode, then you can always pull this as far as you wish. But that's not what we're going to do today. We're going to act as if this is maybe a skybox or a platform that we want to res up in the air. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is, again, get into edit mode. So, again, to refresh, you're going to right click to bring up the pie menu, to bring up the pie chart. You're going to click edit, and then you're in the edit menu. Now, as you can see, you're in the object designation. You're in the object tab of your edit menu. And this is your native edit menu. These other ones up here, as you can see, they highlight. You can't see my mouse, but you can see that they highlight. Let's make sure you can see that they highlight. These are all different menus. You are working with only the edit menu. Alright. So, we're in the edit menu. We're under the object tab, which is where we're supposed to be. We're going to go down to the position designation here. It says position and designation in parentheses, and we're going to look at the X, the Y, and the Z, and we're going to use the Z. If you look here, you can see that the little arrows are highlighting. I'm running my mouse over them, but we're going to use the Z. Now I'm going to click just once, and you're going to see something happen, something miraculous. Ah! Look at that. Look at that. Now, I'm sure you can see where we're going from here. We're going to type into this box. We're going to go up higher than 24 because, of course, 24 is a land designation. We're on the ground at 24 meters. We're going to go to, let's say, 1,024 meters. So we're going to type 1024 in there, and then we're going to click enter. And it's going to disappear. You ready? Poof. Now that we've got the build up in the air, what do we do? How do we get up there with it? Well, we're going to go into our bar. Right up under our menu is a bar, and it tells you where you are. In my case, I am at... Alright, so I had to make a little bit of an adjustment so you could see what I'm talking about. Alright, so we have our build up in the air. How do we get up there the fastest rather than flying up 1,000 meters, literally? We're going to go up here to our bar, and as you can see, we're at 23. We're going to prefix this number, and we're going to put in 10, 23. Oh, you know what? What you should do first, what you must do first, is set yourself to fly. Set yourself to fly before you do this. Alright, so now we go up in the bar. And we are going to change this last number. There is always 3 numbers here. And since we're at the Magnum Sandbox, it's 223, 213, and 26. Right here. And we're going to make that 2610. 26. And we're going to click enter. And all of a sudden, we're up in the air. And we're going to go over here. Not too fast. And as you can see, we are 1,023 meters in the air. And our item is 1,024 meters in the air. Now, you want to put it back? Okay. Maybe you want to put it down to 124. Let's put it down to 124 and we click enter. And it's gone. And we'll do the same thing with ourselves. Instead of 1024, we'll get rid of that 0 and put ourselves down to 124. And we're going to press enter. And we are literally right next to the build. It's the fastest and easiest way ever of moving your build, period. Alright, so we got all those other things done. Let's say we need more than one item that we've pulled out. Let's say we need at least 2. What we're going to do is go back into our edit menu. And we are going to not click anything here. We're going to leave it in the move menu. We're not going to use rotate. We're not going to use stretch. We're going to leave this in the move menu. And we are going to click our shift button and hold that down and use any directional button we wish. Now, if you want this, say you've got it, your item sitting where you want it to sit as far as on the ground, then you would pull it to the left or right, and it's going to give you a copy of the item that you originally had out. Now, this is something you can do very easily. This time I'm going to, as you can see, I was highlighting the green. We're going to use the red. It's no different. It's just going to move it in a different direction, which means that the blue is no different. Sorry about that. So if you want to have your item way up in the air in a way that doesn't move it, you know, a long way like the way I showed you earlier in the video, this is what you do. So I'm going to show you again just this one, if I can get to it. Alright. Edit menu, move menu, click and hold shift, and then use your directional buttons on your mouse or your keyboard to get your item pulled out. Very easy, that one. Yeah. Let's show you about coloring real quick. So you're going to go back into that edit mode. I'm going to go back to the pie menu and click edit. And then we're going to click the texture here. You can see that it's highlighting a little bit for you. And we're going to click color. And as you can see, it gives us a color picker. Now, you want to be careful with this. I use this mostly and mainly when I find that I have an item that's just way too bright. Actually, you know what? Let's delete this flower. And we're going to work with the prim board here. And as you can see, its color is white. Now, if I mess with this, it's going to darken. You can take something from absolutely white to absolutely dark in no time with the color picker. The other thing is that you can adjust by RGB, as you can see here. If you know anything about that, then you probably don't need to know much that I'm talking about in the first place. So we won't go into that. But I will go back up to white, and we're going to tint our board. Let's make it a nice pretty color. Let's make it a nice blue. How easy is that? And different degrees of blue. Just use your slider here. Now, of course, you can always use the native colors in the menu. You can always do that. Yeah, not a difficult thing to do. So again, we're going to right click, edit, texture, click color, and then choose the color we wish. After you get done choosing the color that you wish, you're going to click OK. Right here. Now, one more thing. Two more things that are actually related. And they're sitting right here in the texture menu. Transparency and glow. I'm not going to go into bumpiness and shininess because you'll get to that on your own once you kind of master these basics. Transparency. Self-explanatory. If you put in a degree, a percent of transparency, and click enter, your item will give you that degree of transparency. I put in 50%, so it is half transparent here. If I want something to glow, I just put in the percent, which I want it to glow. So yeah. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have it glowing like the noonday sun. As you can see there, it does not have to glow that brightly. You can put the glow very high or very low. As you saw me type. Oh, sorry about that. Alright, so let's do a 75% transparency there. And if you just need a solid prim that is going to, say, block an item, for instance, I have swans in my little waterfall area, and I did not want them swimming outside of that ring of water. So I put a prim up so that they would not be able to bypass the border that I wanted them to stay within. Easily done. It's very easily done. So, there are many reasons why you might want to do this. Maybe you live up in the sky and you want to not block the view, but you need a railing so that you don't fall over. This is a very good use for something like that. You can also use items that you already have to do something like this. I have some mesh walls that are completely modifiable that I can use in the very same way that one would use a traditional prim. And I can use those for the very same purposes that I would use a traditional prim. So you might already have something in your inventory that you can use in this way. Anyway, this has been a very long video, especially for an instructional video. I don't know what else you might want to know, but if there is anything, do let me know. Let me know if this has helped you at all. I know that there are a lot of people that already know this stuff, like I said in the last video, but these videos are for people who don't know these things. And these are things that I kind of picked up the hard way, the long way, as I went along my journey in Second Life. So I wanted to share them. Maybe I can help some people not be as frustrated learning certain things as I was as I went along, especially in this age of having to learn mesh and how to get dressed and not look crazy while you do it. One less thing is always a wonderful thing. Hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. Please join me on Sunday evening for our moment of love. And, I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah.